back to the old farm here. Today, we're going to talk about some goats. We got a little collection of goats. I think we're up to 12 now. So they're all 1, 2, except for 4 of them. They were all born here on the farm. Kiko goats, and some of them are Kiko mixes, but all of them have a little bit of Kiko in them. So anyway, we got a little project. We're going to be moving the goats to a different pasture and try to probably open this pasture that they're in now, open it back up for farming. So I'm going to be moving the goats behind the house, I think, to a new pasture, which we'll look at here in a little bit. But anyway, so we got a lot of these were just born between Christmas and New Year's. Had a lot actually born this year out of 4 does. But anyway, so let's see what we got here. This little guy is a buck. Was born to that doe, which was born here on the farm. This little one is a doe. It was born to this. It's her mama. This little guy, if I can get him to focus in. That little guy was born to his mama here. This doe, the black and white one, and this buck, this guy right here, were twins born to this young lady. Let's see what else we got. This is one of the older. She was born out of kidding season. Little one here, who was born to another doe, looks just like her, who kidded out of season again this year, and is currently in the barn with her baby. Yeah, I like these goats are funny. They are rambunctious. Got one trying to check out the camera now. But I have enjoyed my goats. We had a little learning curve the first year. This is only, I don't think we've had goats but 2.5 or so years. So we had a learning curve the first year, but I think we got everything all under control with the medications and the proper food, what they shouldn't eat, what they should eat. So everybody seems to be healthy. So those 3 up here, 1, 2, and the one laying down, are bucks. Which we have too many. We have 4 bucks now, which is 2 to 3 too many. So if anybody wants a good buck, they're still intact right now. I'm trying to hold out to see if anybody wants an intact buck. We will probably use 2 of them for next breeding season, because we are still starting to get a lot of mamas and sons, and brothers and sisters, so we're gonna have to split the herd. Is why one of the biggest reasons why I moved them to a new pasture, so I can build them a barn that's separated and keep a better eye on the breeding season, and stop having some little ones out of kidding season for us. I like the November to January. However, the wife likes the springtime kidding season. I'm not sure if it makes too much of a difference, but down here is the barn that we currently have. It was on the property when we got it. Works really good for what it is. I did add on down here a little kidding stall. When we started having a lot of babies, I want them to be able to get out a little bit. But inside the barn, let's see if we can do this without a lot of darkness. Here are my new ones. There's Mama of the little tan one out there, and that is the new buck that was born I think today's Saturday, so Monday he will be 3 weeks old. Doing really good. Good little fella. Hey buddy. So yeah, I got in my barn here, I got it kind of wall off for the kidding, so I can keep them separated, especially out of season, because the big ones like to pick on the little ones, and we like to give them the best chance we can give them. The little hole here that goes out to that kidding pen out front. This hole here goes out to a smaller pasture, but a pasture nonetheless, so they can get out and graze a little bit. So it's kind of stalled off, but I'm going to build me a new barn, and I'll put stalls in there, but I'm gonna split it more in half, so the bucks and the does will be able to use the same barn. It'll be broke off like this, so they can't get to each other out of kidding season, but they can still use it. So I'm probably going to build a 30 by 20 barn, which is what this is. I'll just make the split, so from the door come in about to the first stall. Hopefully the bucks, they'll have room. I don't plan on keeping but 2 intact, so they'll have enough room where the 2 of them can get along peacefully, and that'll open up more room for the girls, since we got a lot more of them. But anyway, over here on that second hole, it goes out to this pasture back here, which I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an acre or so. Pretty decent size for little ones. Looks like a pasture inside of a pasture, so if they get out of that, they're still in the A pasture. Yeah, where they are now is about, I believe about 6 acres or so. Where I'm gonna move them to will be probably 10 or so acres, because we had a 6-acre pasture that I split half of it for the horses so they wouldn't be in the woods. But I'm gonna build a pasture beside there that goes in behind, so they will basically have 1.5 pastures in their new place. So the idea is with the barn, so I'll kind of make one big pasture which will split into 2 smaller pastures inside the pasture and a nice little kidding ring right here. But there again, when I re-fence it, I'm going to use this kind of fence, which is a no-climb horse something. So it's got like 2x4 squares versus the regular field fence that all of our pastures are in, which are 4x4s. And we still have issues with goats sticking their heads through. The problem with that is all of our goats are horned, and occasionally they will get their horn stuck and we have to stretch fence and get them out. So that's the idea. Like the no climb fence, because they can't get their heads in there, and that's better for them. We've been pretty lucky. We have actually lost one goat, a buck, that got his head stuck and ended up choking himself out. The mom that's in the barn, she 3 times since this one has been born, I've had to get her out the fence. So, but yeah, this pasture is open, and then it goes into woods. So they got plenty of trees to chew on, and as you can tell from all the trees, everything that is climbable, there are no leaves. So about once a week I'll go out into the woods and I'll cut a limb, pretty decent limb, and throw it out for the goats. As you can see, like that limb there, that limb out there, and after they chew it up, I'll take it back and throw it in the woods and get them another one. But so this is our goats thus far. We have a total of 12 right now. 4 billies, and the rest of them are does, which I really need to get rid of two bucks. So if anybody wants one, let me know. I'll give you a pretty good deal on them. They are currently up on medications. We do give our goats the CD&T shot yearly, and we worm them quarterly. Worming, we either do a medication wormer, and also give them the DE, which is denatured some earth. If you Google DE, it'll bring it up. So there's some stuff behind there. I mean, it is what it is. We give it to our goats and our outside cats, and occasionally to our dogs. It's food grade, so it ain't gonna hurt them, and it's supposed to rip up all parasites and be a dewormer, as well as sprinkle it on ant piles or whatever, and it kills ants. But anyway, that's the goats. This is their house for right now. What I'm probably going to do is get another one of those little metal sheds, garage, 20 by 30, just like that. And I'm going to get it empty, and I'm just going to build it out of wood, so the sides and whatnot are going to be built out of wood, so they can beat and bang on it if they want to, and they a lot better than tin. Our old breeding Billy Samson, who is not with us anymore, he went through kidding season twice, so we sold him because we had, at the time, we had 3 new Billies that I'll breed up or raise up for breeding. But anyway, this is what he liked to do. He liked to bang on my metal walls. So it wouldn't have been long and he would have busted through. And this is what he likes to do to the door when you try to shut him out. So billy goats will be billy goats. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna build the next one out of wood. So I'll do, you know, the metal rods for the roof, and then I'll do some 2-inch lumber, probably 2 by 12. That way I can fill in a foot at a time. So I think it'll work out. And then on the inside, you know, I'll put a couple doors and stall it off, and I think that will be great. They will thoroughly enjoy the new pasture and the new home. So that's my Kiko and Kiko mix herd. Yep. So I'm gonna walk over to the other pasture and we'll take a gander over there and see what we got. Alright, so we walked across the property over to the other side of the driveway to the other pastures. And this is where I believe I'm gonna move my goats. It's not a real big pasture, but I'm gonna cut some and grow it out a little bit. But anyway, a little tour of the place. So here is the chicken coop there, so it's pretty close to the chickens, the old storage room. And way up there, well, not way, but up there, that gate goes to the horse pasture. At one time, this used to be probably the buck area, because he does have a old little metal lean-to. So anyway, this is it. Got a lot of dirt to move. That goes around, and back there is the house. If we walk up to the horse pasture, I do have some open grass, and I was actually thinking of putting the new barn probably in this area here. That way when I break off the pasture for the bucks and the does, I'll probably put the bucks over here to this side up the fence line, and that way the does will have more room to graze and teach the babies how to be goats. So anyway, up here at the end, at the horse pasture, we have our 2 horses. Let's see if we can see them. Cash and Letty. I'm sure Letty, the brown one, will be up here directly to see what's going on because she's nosy. So down this fence line, it goes all the way to the property line. However, when we moved in, separated this pasture and fenced it from across there down the wood line and into this fence line. The reason I did that was to keep the horses out of the woods, and they've got one big open, I don't know, it's probably a good 4 acres. I don't know, 3.5 or so. I'd have to measure it out. Anyway, theirs is pretty open. Got some shade trees, got their little run-in barn that they like to kick the wood out of. But shade trees. So I'm gonna walk down this fence line And for the bucks, I will probably fence this off some more. Simply because I don't need them to be running all over the place. But they'll have a pretty good run. But I'm thinking about I will continue this fence where I tie it into the goat pasture. I'll run it out, you know, into the barn, so it'll go down here and then up to the left and back to the barn, so the bucks will have this area and then the does will have the rest. And like I say, this fence, it goes all the way up to the property line. An idea would be that I cut some of these trees and put the barn, the new barn, like right on this fence line, so that way the bucks can have this, because it is already squared off and it is a couple acres. Hey dog, what are you doing? There's old pup. Here, old pup. There's my old Steffi. She will actually start school next Wednesday. She goes to kindergarten for 6 weeks, basic obedience, and then she will go to middle school, intermediate, and then she will do that for 6 weeks, and then she goes to college, well no, high school, for the advanced training, and then she will test to see if she is eligible to be a service dog. If she passes that test, then she will go to college for a while and she will become my service dog. Anyway, so back to it. This square behind the horse pasture that goes along the driveway and up to the property line is probably, I don't know, a good 2 acres. So that's an idea. This whole fence line that the horse is in is a little bigger than 6 acres. I cut it about in half when I put this fence in. So I'm thinking 3.5 acres and 2.5 or so, maybe 4 and 2, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that just brought to my mind, since this is already squared in, I could put the bucks here, and that way this whole area, which is another 6 acres, could be the new goat. So I don't know, decisions. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know if I really want the barn this far down, but it may not be a bad thing. We will still have to re-fence everything because that has got the 4x4 squares in there. Except for that I added on, it's got the 2x4 squares, which is a whole lot better, in my opinion. But yeah, we can walk down the rest of the fence line. And like I say, we got woods on both ends. Of course, over here in the, if I do that, the bucks would have zero pasture, so I would definitely have to rip out some trees and get them some grass growing, some hay. But that would be all right. Yes, it would. And the same over here. We have a little bit of grass in here, but not nearly enough of what I would like. I'd like to have a lot more. So the other day when I've been working on this area a little bit, putting some trails in. Yeah, it goes all the way down. You can kind of see the fire break, which is the property line. And it's all fenced in. Yeah, I was checking out another guy that I watch a good bit, Josh over there at Stony Ridge Farmer, and he's fixing to start a fencing project. And so I'm inquiring because I need to refence all this. And I saw some stuff on there, and I'm like, man, that's a good idea that I think that he's got. So I inquired to him is what he was going to do with a fence, and he sort of gave me a heads up, and I'm thinking I'm liking that idea a lot better than driving new wood posts. And I'm not 100% sure I like the old metal little post. That's why them goats are kind of small. They are pretty strong and they like to push on stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be definitely tuning in to old Josh over there at Stony Ridge and checking out how he runs that fence, so I can get me something, see what he's gonna do and how it turns out for him. So yep, this is down here on the property line, and I need to go look at that tree to see if it smushed my fence. Oh, come on guys, let's take a walk and check out this old pine tree. I hate some pine trees now. We got a total of 60 acres here, and it's about a 20-40 split, so 20 acres pasture, about 40 acres of woods. And we don't have a lot of pine trees, but we do have some, and that pine tree is on my fence. So I think I have a project to do. Get that off of my fence. Whew, okay, I see. Yeah, so there it is. The squished up fence. Yep, well, I guess I'll do the old neighbors a solid, and I will get the old tractor out and move that. And if you look, I'm gonna say maybe a, I don't know, lightning strike. It fell out of that, and that's about, oh, I don't know, 30 foot up. It just bust right out the top. We have had some good rain, and we had a lightning storm the other day. I don't remember hearing no big loud pop, but maybe it just died. Well, it might have been an old lightning strike. That looks pretty old, but then where it cracked is new. So yeah, I'll go get the old chainsaw and tractor and Get that out of here. Well, anyway, so this is the property line, and it goes up. Neighbor there, he's I think this was the old logging trail, but they keep it pretty good. I cut it when I remember to. A nice little fire break between us. And I think that property over here that they own, I don't know, timber management maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what, there's no houses or anything, it's just woods. They use it for hunting. But yeah, so property line goes up there. Good little ways. Yeah, got some cleaning to do. Anyway, Tink, come. Come. Hey girl. Got any closing remarks? You got anything to say? No? Alright. Well, Tink says goodbye, have a good day. And hey, we'll give you another update maybe. I'll do bring out the tractor and show you what our working tractor. We had 3. Got old 1960 something John Deere. I forget the number on there. 280, 260. It's an old one, gasoline. Still works. I need to do some generation work on there. Put a generator on there and try to get that to charge the batteries, because the charging mechanism doesn't work in it. And we also have a cab Russian Belarus big boy. It needs a wheel and a tire. Definitely a wheel. It's got a crack in there. It cranks and runs, but can't do much with it. What I use for dailies for around here is when we bought the place, I also bought a John Deere 3032, so 32 horsepower, 30 or so on the PTO. Yeah, it's one of them compact tractors, but around these woods and stuff, it seems to work. I haven't had any issues with it at all. Been a really good tractor. I've had it for a little over 2 years now. It's only got 240 some hours on there, but that's what we use. I use it with the brush cutter to cut the fields. There's another 6-acre pasture on the other side of the goats, which will be the brother and sister's home lot when they can move up here. And then we had the 6 acres that the goats are on, and then the rest is woods. On this side of the driveway, we have the horse pasture, the pasture that I'm standing in now, which will be hopefully the goat pasture as soon as I can get it worked out, get some of this stuff cleaned up and cut out and moved. And then our house is on that, so that's another 6 and 6, and then the rest of it is woods. On the edge of the homestead and the woods, I have my little shooting range, which one day we'll post a video on the old shooting range. Leave me a comment if you want to, if you'd like to see anything being shot or taken apart and whatever. We've got some rifles and some shotguns and some pistols and some different stuff. So if there's anything that you see or anything you would like for me to do a little review on, not a subject matter expert on firearms, but I've been around them a good little while. AR platforms. I think all of our handguns are Glocks, except for we do have a Taurus Judge that shoots shotgun shells. I usually carry it around here, good for snakes and whatnot. Not that we shoot non-venomous snakes, but if we do come across a venomous, it will no longer be available here on this piece of property. We do have children and we do have animals, and we do not need venomous snakes. So they are removed with prejudice as we see them. Non-venomous snakes, we usually pick them up and carry them down to the pond, or just move them off of our home part of our property. Not too long ago, I caught an eastern hognose out in the front yard. It was on the hunt for toads, so I didn't move him very far. I just took him down to the blueberry patch. A lot of rat snakes. Haven't seen thus far any king snakes, which is a shame because I like the king snakes. Corn snakes, black rat, racers, gray rat snakes, seen all those. But yeah, so that's about all we got so far. Let me go fire up the old chainsaw and the tractor. I'll probably do a tractor video when I do this log right here. I probably will not publish it with this one, but stay tuned, it'll be coming up. I'll give you a little review of a John Deere 3032 tractor that we got. Bought the package deal. So brush hog, box blade, trailer, loader, tractor. Pretty good setup. I think they gave us a pretty good deal on it. So my hat's off to Sparrow and Kennedy, John Deere. By the way, if y'all gotta see this, I need a new hat, man. This one's getting wore out. So thumbs up Sparrow and Kennedy of Lexington, John Deere dealership. I think they treated me pretty good. Give me all that I asked for and no haggle. In and out. I think I did have to come back and pick it up a couple days later because they had to put it all together for me. But hey, what do you expect? Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. We are out here.